Rick Mears, the defending champion of the Indianapolis 500, crashes hard today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, sliding upside down. We'll have a full report coming up. Four-time winner A.J. Foyt finally makes it to the racetrack as he searches for another entry in the Indy 500. And Jim Crawford is once again the fastest with Buick power. That's all coming up on Countdown to Indy. Well, good evening and welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in our little garage here. Well, it was a serious day for the practice of the 500-mile race. Rick Mears got in trouble, and it's very unlike him. Only one other time as he crashed here. That was about this time of the week last year. This time he was coming down the main straightaway. He'd been practicing at about 222 miles an hour. Everything looked good through the first turn, and then suddenly from the side pod of the car, a puff of white smoke. Rick lost control, slammed into the wall, the car flipped upside down, and slid down the backstretch of the race course. Now, apparently some sort of line came loose in the car, and that sprayed out underneath the rear wheels, causing Rick Mears to lose control. Here's a different angle of the same accident, as sparks spray back from the roll bar on his machine. Immediately, safety crews headed out, as did Roger Penske and the rest of the team, to see if Rick Mears was all right. Surprisingly enough, despite this extensive damage on the race car, the roll bar did its job, as did the cockpit, and Rick Mears went to the track hospital. But when it was all over, Dr. Henry Bach said he was really not badly hurt.
Rick Mears is going down to Methodist Hospital for some x-rays of his legs and of his wrist. He was complaining of some pain in both of those. He was awake and alert throughout the accident on the track, and we suspect no other injuries at this time.
It was not the only incident of the day. That's Kenji Momoto, as he was practicing at about 217 miles an hour when he lost it coming off of the fourth turn and slammed into the outside wall. Now, it's a very point of the track where we have a camera position, and take a look at this. As he comes through the corner, there he is. Fortunately, he just glanced against the wall. The safety crews were right there. They do a tremendous job here at the Speedway, and they got him out. He should be cleared to drive in another day or so. So Kenji Momoto is okay after that accident. And the fastest car of the day at 233.239 miles an hour. Jim Crawford once again. He's absolutely flying. And by the way, so is his teammate, Roberto Guerrero, who's been practicing at 231 miles an hour. Kenny Bernstein's team is more than satisfied.
Well, that's what we're here today to do. When we first came out, the track is nothing like it was 2 days ago, and we're going to have to step up the program to keep abreast of what's happening out there. The car, as it ran 233 2 days ago, wouldn't do it today, so we had to make a few adjustments. We expect to make some tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. We're just trying to learn how the track's changing.
I think it very much was. Crawford got out of the car and he said it was 235 in his mind, because he knew he was in the throttle all the way around this baby. But, you know, if it woulda, coulda, shoulda, that's the way it always is. Roberto, on the other hand, 231, little problems gearbox-wise. We got to get him squared away in the gearbox.
Everybody chasing that team. Next in the lineup chasing is Michael Andretti, who practiced today at 231.5 miles an hour for third quick of the day. Now remember, this is the new Ford Cosworth power plant in that car. It's brand new, though they've had extensive testing with the machine and with the engine itself. And Michael Kranifis of Ford loves it.
First time here, we're very happy. I mean, all four cars are going quick, and Michael was just sensational all by himself. 231, that's, I mean, what more can we say? We hope we're going to be qualifying well. We'll see how we do in the race.
And Michael's teammate, his dad Mario, is running fourth quick of the day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway at 231.124 miles an hour. Now that's a far, far cry from when Mario started racing here at the Speedway in the 60s. We asked Mario, when he came this year, did he really expect these kinds of speeds?
Well, I think the Buick served notice during winter testing, so if they did it then, I knew they could do it again, and obviously that means that we have to get it up to that point to be competitive, so I thought it was inevitable, really.
Driving the target car for Chip Ganassi, Eddie Cheever, a former Formula One driver, made it up a little faster today. He seems pleased with 229.5 miles an hour, as both he and his teammate, Arie Luyendyk, have been trying different maneuvers to find out what these cars with their Ford Cosworth engines like the best. So Cheever finally pretty close to where he wants to be.
I mean, a lot of it depends on what the conditions are like. Today, the conditions are almost ideal. So, I don't know. The car is running well. We're making a lot of progress. The speeds are coming down slowly. The Ford engine has been running strong the whole 4 days that we've been here. So, we're pleased so far.
And, of course, his teammate, Arie Luyendyk, also dressed in the Ganassi Racing colors, joining the team for this race, and this race only for the moment, though we hope to see Arie back in a race car throughout the rest of this season. And Arie Luyendyk is moving pretty well as well at 228.004 miles an hour. Very nice run for Arie Luyendyk of Scottsdale, Arizona. And then there's the grand champion, none other than A.J. Foyt. Yes, the famous car number 14 was out on the track today for the first time as A.J. tries to make it into his 35th Indianapolis 500-mile race. Now, today was just a matter of trying to shake the car down, find out if it's running properly, making sure that there are no mechanical problems with the machine, and then later in the week, A.J. should move the car up to speed.
Well, I look at it towards the end of the weeks where you really get your speeds up, as far as I'm concerned, because the track changes so much, and we weren't really ready. We had a lot more problems than we thought, but we're going to start working tomorrow morning.
Al Unser Jr. continues working with his Galmer. I had dinner with him last night, and he said that the chassis is now beginning to come into shape just fine. The problem seems to be engines. He has had his third engine let go. There it is. So they still have to get the car and the motors matched together. Well, now, there is a truly innovative car here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As a matter of fact, True Sports won an award for innovative design with a version of this machine last year. This year, it's even slicker, as our Mike King reports.
Scott Pruitt is the All-American boy driving the All-American car this May. The True Sports 92C is built from the ground up in Hilliard, Ohio, the only American-built chassis at Indy this year. One of the most striking changes designer Don Halliday has made in the car is the nose cone. And the team has several variations of the distinctive fighter jet configuration.
It works for us. Obviously, for other teams, other designers, their cars are quite different in a lot of areas to our car.
The new car also features a redesigned engine cowling, aerodynamically fitted to the Chevy V8A. In '91, True Sports ran the Judd. Pruitt likes the change.
And the other, we found that the Chevrolet has just worked a lot better from that standpoint, as well as having more drivability and horsepower.
But when it comes to this 92 True Sports, what you see today may not necessarily be what you see tomorrow. With the team headquarters just 3 hours away in Columbus, Ohio, even major changes in the car are considered on a daily basis.
As long as we can manufacture it in the time between now and qualifying, we can really change anything we want on the car. But
When we change something on a track, we get on the phone, we call back to the people at the wind tunnel in Columbus, and they're running that stuff and making changes for us before we make them on the track.
A perfect example is the unveiling today of this radical new rear wing design, a change True Sports Racing is hoping will be the secret to more speed. For Countdown to Indy, I'm Mike King.
Tell you what, that is a car and a team to keep an eye on. Scott Pruitt is very, very quick. Now let's take a look at how they fared today. The hot laps with Crawford at the top of the order, followed by his teammate Roberto Guerrero, and then the Andretti family, and then the Ganassi team. These are the top 10. We look all the way down. Gary Bettenhausen with a great run. Nelson Piquet. We'll meet him in just a couple of moments. Countdown to Indy is brought to you by RCA, changing entertainment again. By LensCrafters, better fit for greater comfort. By Split-Fire spark plugs, more power, more mileage, or your money back. And by GTE, the front runner in telecommunications.
plugs. Were they talking about this one or the patent-winning split fire? More power? You decide. Put a leading European spark plug up against split fire. More direct firepower means more horsepower.
Buy extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs.
Split fire. More power or your money back. Get world-class split fire performance at leading U.S. retail stores nationwide.
Welcome back to our garage at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You know, back in 1911, the original title of this event was the 500-mile International Sweepstakes. And it has always, ever since that very first race, attracted international competitors, men from all around the world. This year is no different, as Sally Larvik reports.
Many of the foreign drivers are so familiar to Indianapolis race fans by now that only their accents are reminders that they were born on foreign soil. But even that's no guarantee.
Take Roberto Guerrero, for example. You could cross out Colombian citizen from your program because 2 years ago, Roberto Guerrero became a full-fledged American citizen.
I live here, I work here. I mean, it was kind of really a formality, and it was really nice to finally be officially an American. It was a really nice feeling.
Of the 10 foreign-born drivers on this year's entry list, half are new to Indy. Nelson Piquet brings the Brazilian contingent here to 3. Rookie Kenji Momota doubles Japan's contribution to Indianapolis, while France's Philip Gosch and the Philippines' Joby Marcelo stand alone in representing their native countries. Although these are foreign drivers, their reasons for coming here are international.
This is a race, actually a race, but also big event, sports event. It's fun, a festival, so I think that's why.
You know, I think in the world there is 2 very popular races. It's the 24 Hours of Le Mans and Indianapolis. So I do Le Mans 2 times, and then it will be a dream for me to do in Indianapolis.
It happens because I had the opportunity to come in America and race ARS, and then last year I did Indy Light. And so after that, you know, I was dreaming about IndyCars, and when you dream about IndyCars, you dream about doing Indy 500.
And to make sure fellow countrymen are aware of their progress at the Brickyard is the media, the international media. Brazil has one of the strongest commitments to their drivers, satelliting 30 minutes of race coverage and features each day.
Although most race fans are more interested in a driver's credentials than they are in his passport, there are some who still feel that Indianapolis should remain a proving ground for American racers.
But with television and radio coverage going out to more than 47 countries, it is no wonder that racers worldwide look forward to the time they too can be welcomed by the second greatest lady of the land, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Well, our garage here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is filled with important people this evening. As a matter of fact, 5 world championships sit here. Emerson Fittipaldi, of course, winner of the Indianapolis 500, and a mere rookie here, but with 3 Formula One titles, Nelson Piquet. Welcome, gentlemen. Emerson, very first, I want to find out what you know about Rick Mears, because everybody's very concerned.
Well, Rick is great, and I was very happy to see Rick talking and sitting after the crash. When you see on TV, is amazing. And you know, the Marlboro Penske car is a very strong car. I was talking to Nigel Bennett, and Rick is great. I mean, I'm really happy.
When you saw the videotape, take us through that. What happened?
Well, going to turn 2, just before turn 2, he had a water leak that went on the rear tire, and started turning to turn 2, and he lost the back end. And Rick said that he saw was a turbulence, was a gust wind or something that he got, but he just lost the back end and hit the wall very, very hard. And then as he hit the wall, you can see the car going up and upside down. And the roll bar did a great job. I mean, so strong, and he grabbed the speed upside down. I mean, that's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, we hope he does well. More pleasant things. Both of you from Brazil. Both of you started racing in go-karts. Nelson, is that a good way to start this business?
Yes, go-kart is something that is very similar to any formula. And you have the same reaction, and I think it's the best school for starting motor racing.
Are you here because of him? Did he show you the $1 million he earned here, and you said, I got to get up there?
Well, he showed much more than that. Emerson was was the first Brazilian to leave Brazil and go to Europe to do the season complete, Formula 4, Formula 3, and after went up to Formula 1 until win the championship. And 5 years ago, I was with a group of friends, and we count more than 100 Brazilians did the same. That's 5 years ago.
Yes.
Now maybe 200.
When you started, back when you were a boy, you actually considered Indianapolis at that time. You cared about Indianapolis very early on.
Well, I used to watch some documentary films from the mid-50s when Bill Vukovich and the Bettenhouse was, top drivers here, and I remember. And there was always a dream in my life one day possible to race Indianapolis, sure.
Nelson, whenever I travel anywhere in the world, people who have not been here will say to me, what about the walls? Well, now you've seen them. What about the walls?
Well, the walls is not that the problem. Being run with the walls before, the problem is the speed. If anything goes wrong, you're deep in trouble.
You're driving one of the Buicks for Team Menard, the Glidden sponsorship. It's a more powerful car, it seems, than the one he's driving. Is there a chance that you'll end up qualified faster than Emerson?
Nah, his car's rubbish.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for out of the weekend? What kind of speed are you looking for?
I don't know. I think if you be in the first 10 for me is already very good. It's come here and it's already learning fast and getting up to the speed. And I think I'm happy if I can be in the first 10 and finish a race. For me, it'll be good.
We would look forward to seeing both of you in the race. It was very nice of you to come by and spend some time with us this evening. We'll be back with a little bit more right after this. Welcome back. Well, Emerson Fittipaldi had a fairly significant moment here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it is our greatest moment for tonight. Greatest Moments is brought to you by GTE, the front runner in telecommunications.
After leading nearly the entire race, Emerson Fittipaldi was passed by Al Unser Jr. on lap 196. Unser, running laps at better than 200 miles an hour, couldn't shake the two-time world champion. Lap 199. The two leaders, still just yards apart, ran into traffic. Going into turn 3, Fittipaldi made his move. The cars touched, and Unser spun hard into the wall.
I knew that was going to be my only and last chance to recover the lead. And when we come out of turn 2, he moved over very quickly towards me. I have to move to the inside line. The second part of the straight, he starts to get back again on me. And I looked to him, and I knew he was not going to back off. And I'm sure he knew I was not going to back off. And that was, I think, one of the most dramatic moments of my racing career.
Fittipaldi slid sideways briefly, but managed to get the car under control and continue on under the yellow caution lights. As Emo cruised through turn 3 on his way to the checkered flag, he was greeted with an enthusiastic thumbs up from a highly disappointed Unser.
It took me the whole lap behind the pace car to come back again. When I saw Lil Junior next to the track, give me the sun up sign, I saw it was a big release. I said, now I won the race, and I'm happy.
It was one of the most spectacular finishes in Indy history.
One of the greatest finishes of a 500 ever, though they are all very special. Emerson, once the accident occurred and you're now under yellow and you realize you're going to win the Indianapolis 500, that has to be a very special moment.
Well, I think it was the most special moment of my racing career for any event I won before. And it was, I inside the car had a memory when I was a young boy in Brazil watching the film from Vukovich and Bettenhouse winning the race, and I was there winning the Indy 500 when I was many years after that. I mean, it was unbelievable.
We are boring Nelson because he hasn't felt it just yet. But when it comes,
there's a good chance to feel the next 3 years.
I was not born this time.
And it was worth $1 million, and that helped, and you said you've already spent it. Oh, well. In just a moment, we'll come back, and we'll take a look at the speeds of all the drivers and teams in practice today at the Speedway. By RCA, changing entertainment again. By Lens Crafters, better fit for greater comfort. By Splitfire spark plugs, more power, more mileage, or your money back. By Cellular Services of Indiana for all your cellular needs. And by GTE, the front runner in telecommunications. Now some notes from the background called Gasoline Alley here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's the garage area. First of all, when there is a problem in the racing community, everyone bonds very tightly together. For example, Chris Mears went to the hospital as soon as she heard that Rick was involved in that accident. And not very long thereafter, here came Sandy Andretti, Michael's wife, to make sure that Chris was okay. By the way, Chris Mears spent most of her day getting all of the names and addresses of the moms on the Penske team so she could make sure that the team members all had presents or flowers for their moms on this weekend's Mother's Day because they're going to be a little bit busy. Some other notes, well, Mark Bridges, the chief mechanic for the Dick Simon organization on Scott Brayton's car, says that car crashed earlier in the week. The number 23 car will be back and ready for action before qualifying this weekend. And Jim Hall and the Hall VDS operation has announced that Didier Tays will now take the second car and team with John Andretti in their organization. And then these final notes for you. The official word from Methodist Hospital of Indianapolis is that Rick Mears suffered a minor fracture to his left foot and a sprained right wrist, but he has been released from Methodist Hospital and should be cleared to drive whenever he's ready. And then Kenji Momoto, they're going to keep him at Methodist Hospital overnight for observation and then check him again before they release him for driving. So some of the things that are happening back in the garage area at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now, on Friday evening, they will have a drawing at the end of the day to determine the lineup for Saturday's run for the pole at the Indianapolis 500. And since the weatherman is now saying, well, there could be some showers in the area, that draw may be critical. Let's take a look at the speeds of everybody today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as we run down to the field. You've seen all of these. We go to the second half of the top five. And now some that you haven't seen. Really some fairly spectacular runs, and it makes you wonder not only what the pole position will be, but what speed you might take for a wave-off. So as we say goodnight to you, take a look at some of the great runs in practice today. So long.
From around the globe.